Hey everybody, Dr. Axe here. Welcome to Facebook Live. Today I'm going to be talking about the top ways to naturally boost your energy. I'll be talking about the foods. Also be going through the foods that absolutely tank your energy. Some of them are actually considered health foods, which is really going to surprise you. I'll also be going through the herbs. There's an ancient herb that's been used for thousands of years in Japan that is something I consume almost every day, which I'm curious if any of you can guess to start here, but that boosts energy. I'll be going through an ancient Ayurvedic herb that was used to boost energy, and I'll be going through a few mindset tips that are key for boosting energy here as well. So hey, I want to just say welcome to everybody who's joining me here today. And also, hey, let me know right now the city you're from, the state you're from, the country you're from. I want to give you a shout out right now on Facebook Live. And thank you for everybody that's clicking that share button right now, helping me spread the word that food is medicine. All right. I want to say welcome to Helen here. We got Betty, we got Chris, we have Kimberly watching here today. Hey, welcome everybody. We have Genevieve from Montreal, Canada. We have Clarita joining me here today. We have Ajez from Nice. I'm guessing that's Nice, France. Pamela from Costa Rica. Brenda from Louisville, Kentucky. We got people from all over the world joining me here today. I'm going to be going through how to naturally boost your energy. Now listen. There are a lot of energy boosting tips out there that people are talking about. You know, there are those little drinks, the certain amount of our energy drinks, and I want to let you know that there are certain things that you can do for your energy that actually long term will cause you to be more tired. One of those, to start off here, I just want to mention is caffeine. Now, listen, I think a little bit of caffeine is fine. If you're doing 1 cup of coffee in the morning or something like that, probably 150 milligrams or less, your body doesn't become too dependent. Some people do fairly well with caffeine, but if that's the thing you're relying on every single day and you're still tired in the afternoons and coffee is the only way you sort of can get by, that's not a good way to sustain energy. In fact, oftentimes what you're doing is you are overburdening your adrenal glands. And if any of you ever notice this, sometimes you start relying on a stimulant, and then over time, it's like, well, if you don't have that, then you can't even sort of operate. You can't think clearly. And so that happens very, very frequently. So what I'm going to be going through today is the real ways to naturally boost energy that aren't going to keep you relying on these stimulants all the time. So we'll be getting that today. By the way, I see we've got people joining from all over. Reem from Syria, Carrie Ann from Scotland here as well. We've got Anne Sherlock from Birmingham in the UK. We've got Anna watching from Scotland here as well. I mean, I'm so excited everybody's here joining me today. Okay, so let's go through this right now. First off, let's start off with diet. So when it comes to diet, the biggest things that destroy your energy are going to be carbohydrates, over-consuming them. Now listen, I think getting some berries, getting a little bit of something like a sweet potato, getting some good natural carbs from something like a sweet potato or berries and certain types of fruit, even a little bit of rice, I think that's okay. But when you start to get a lot of wheat and bread and potatoes, and then of course sugar, that is the number one thing that will zap and destroy your energy. Because think about this too, and especially at night, by the way. The most damaging time to consume a lot of carbohydrates is before you go to bed. Because here's what your body thinks. Your body thinks, oh, I just carved up. That means, and what your body does is your body uses carbohydrates for energy. So your body thinks, well, I'm about to go and expend energy, or I'm going to here in the very near future. So your body spends all this time sort of gearing up. Cortisol gets up, some of these hormones, and then you go to sleep. And so your body's like, oh, well, it's sort of waiting to do something. Then it ends up storing it as body fat. So remember this, your body typically doesn't store fat as fat as much as it does carbohydrates. Now it can store both, or it will store both as fat over time. But carbohydrates or sugar is the first thing your body will typically turn into body fat. And so you want to be careful not to overconsume all of these carbohydrates. And so again, the potatoes, the corn, and especially it's the packaged foods, right? Snack bars, fruit snacks. If you're eating sort of packaged foods, any sort of snacks, that adds to it. Breads, potatoes, different sort of chips, even if they're healthy chips. Healthy chips are probably one of the most deceptive of all those foods. This is the thing I was talking about earlier. People oftentimes buy healthy potato or corn or rice chips that have been fried in sunflower or safflower oil, which are high in omega-6 fats. And then there is all this sodium, and then you've got all these carbs. So you're thinking, well, hey, it says organic on the label or non-GMO. But the truth of the matter is you're having all these carbs, really a processed oil, even if it says sunflower or safflower oil, plus all this sodium. And so it can sometimes dehydrate you because you haven't had a lot of potassium, probably not a lot of water. And that is one of the biggest things. These snacks that we eat and we buy at the health food store, whether it's Whole Foods Market or somewhere else, that can naturally zap our energy and just over-consuming carbs, right? So what you want to do diet-wise is you want to eat foods that balance out your insulin. So your blood sugar levels, that's what's going to cause your energy to stay sort of high throughout the entire day. So remember this formula. Protein plus fiber plus fat plus nutrients, okay? Protein, fiber, fats, nutrients. Now, I didn't say carbohydrates anywhere there. Protein helps balance blood sugar, helps build muscle. It's fantastic for your body, right? So number one, protein. Number two, fiber. Fiber, your body doesn't store as fat. It's good for your colon health, probiotics being stimulated, which allows you to absorb more B vitamins, which are your energy vitamins. Healthy fat, especially from things like coconut. Your body can use that as a replacement for sugar as fuel. And then nutrients, especially B vitamins like vitamin B12, help naturally stimulate energy. So if you can follow my formula with most of your meals, you don't do many carbs, a little bit's fine, but protein, fiber, fat, nutrients, it is going to do wonders for your energy level. So an example of that would be for breakfast, doing a superfood smoothie, right? So you're going to get your protein from something like a multi-collagen protein from Ancient Nutrition or a bone broth protein, right? So you're getting that protein. The next is maybe you're going to get fiber. You could do that by adding berries in. Okay, berries have a lot of fiber and a lot of nutrients like antioxidants. The other thing you might add in there is healthy fat from coconut milk, right? So right there you've got berries, you've got coconut milk, and you've got collagen. Boom, what an amazing morning superfood meal that's going to help you keep those energy levels high. And then maybe you add in some super greens powder, right? And maybe you take some of your vitamins and minerals, maybe your turmeric and some other things. That is such a perfect formula for energy in the morning and for in the afternoon. Maybe you have chicken vegetable soup, right? And so you're getting protein and bone broth. You're getting vegetables, and that's going to have fiber and nutrients. You're getting a little healthy fat, maybe from the animal meat in there or something else, right? So again, that's the sort of meals you want to be following, is lots of meat, vegetables, berries, healthy fats from things like coconut, avocado. And if you can do that, it's going to be phenomenal for your health. So that's what the diet should look like. I'm going to move now into supplements. But before I do that, do me a favor. Hey, if you're on mission with me, and you know more people need to know this truth of how to naturally stimulate their energy. How many of you know people like this? All day long, they're just pounding coffee. Coffee and more coffee, more coffee. Maybe they do one of those whatever hour sort of energy shots, and they're just sort of living off these stimulants all day long. By the way, this is a whole site. And so, by the way, if you agree with me, people need to know this truth. Hey, punch the share button, click the love button, help me spread the truth. Food should be our form of medicine. I want to mention this for college kids. This is a little off track, but I want to bring it back to this. Do you know how many college students today, I read an article on this, are abusing Ritalin and Adderall and different types of ADHD medications for energy? How many professional athletes take these? What people don't realize is those medications are very similar. In fact, that they're really the same from a molecular standpoint, or very, very similar to cocaine. These are stimulants that activate your brain away, but over time it allows you to, remember that, when you start to rely on all that caffeine, it's like, okay, well now you need even more in the future to even get back to normal if you stop using it. The same goes with a lot of these ADHD medications when there are natural things like lion's mane mushroom, ginkgo biloba, bacopa, MCT oil. These are natural things that allow your brain to fully engage, that can boost your energy as well, that you can use instead. Godwin, I love your Godwin Samuel mention here, sort of the spiritual world and the Holy Spirit, right? When you're into something, when you're operating in an area of purpose, when you are being led by God and by the Spirit, right? there's this natural and tuned energy there when you have a passion, when you're living a life of purpose and meaning, that's energizing. Which actually Godwin just beat me to a point I'm going to have later on here with mindset. So all that being said, I think that these are such good points, but people are using, and by the way, have you heard this or read these articles on college kids and in high school, and then people even afterwards, especially in their 20s, who are using all this Ritalin and Adderall, these medications, but they don't realize the side effects of what it does actually to harm their brain long term when there are all natural things instead. So all that being said, let's go back to this. Let's talk about the natural herbs. Number one is matcha green tea. Matcha and green tea have been used for thousands of years in Japanese medicine. And it's also been used in Chinese medicine throughout Asia. Matcha has 3 times the antioxidants as regular green tea. It contains a compound called EGCG, epigalactic catechin. This compound has been shown to help heal the brain. It actually has properties that can fight cancer and support metabolism. Now, it does have a little bit of naturally occurring caffeine, but about a third of what you'd find in a cup of coffee. And so it is really fantastic. So matcha is one of my favorite superfoods on the planet, a great thing to do there as well. So remember that matcha green tea, if you want that extra little energy boost and support, it's probably the #1 herb in the world for anti-aging, slowing the aging process. And so matcha is amazing for that. In addition to matcha, my #2 herb for naturally supporting your energy levels long term is going to be ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha is also known for stimulating the thyroid. It's known for supporting adrenal health. It's known for anti-aging. So this is one in particular. If you notice you have low energy and you also believe or know you may have an issue with your thyroid or adrenal glands, ashwagandha is great. Now, I do want to mention this. You're not going to take ashwagandha and all of a sudden an hour later say, wow, I cannot believe how my energy has been boosted. The way ashwagandha works is it builds up slowly as an adaptogen by lowering stress and lightly supporting your energy levels to where you will feel better about 4 to 6 weeks later. But long term, there's no side effects. There's only healing and transformation that occurs in your body. And so that's what I love about ashwagandha is its adaptogenic effects of how it works on the adrenals and how it works on the kidneys and how it works on the thyroid and lowering stress hormones. So again, ashwagandha is amazing for so many reasons. But again, here's the thing. Most people want a quick fix. Oh, I want to feel this energy right now, this energy boost right now. When things are typically healthy, that's not typically the best way to do it. These crash diets that people do today, it typically doesn't work long term versus I'm making a lifestyle change. I'm changing the way I'm eating. I'm changing the way I'm thinking. I'm taking something that I may not notice this second, but over the next month or two, I am going to notice a difference. And you want to get locked into that mindset. You know, there was a study done. Actually, several studies have been done. One is actually called the marshmallow study. It's a fascinating study. But there's a couple studies I've read in the medical literature that really goes through the #1 determining factor being in someone being successful or not. The definition of success, the top thing there is that you think long term. You're not thinking about this, I got to have this right now. You're not worried about the emergencies as you much are saying, you know what? I don't need to lose weight in tomorrow, but I want to be leaner and healthier and fitter for running around with my grandkids when I'm 80, but I want to lose weight in a healthy way, so I'm going to do it over the next 3 months and over the next year. So that actually determines success, is that you're thinking and doing things purposely by thinking about the long term. We don't do that as much anymore. All that being said, ashwagandha is amazing. #1, matcha green tea. #2 is ashwagandha there for a natural energy boost. #3 is going to be, and this is supplements, is going to be a B vitamin supplement. Take a B complex or something with vitamin B12. A lot of us aren't getting enough B12. Or if you have digestive issues, you may instead need a probiotic and a collagen supplement because you're not actually absorbing B vitamins well. This is key. A lot of us aren't absorbing our nutrients. And that's where probiotics and collagen come in. Collagen is what makes up your gut. Probiotics are what line and protect your gut. So the probiotics plus collagen, those two things together are the 2 most impactful supplements you can take at healing your gut, which then will allow you to better absorb iron and zinc and B vitamins that allow you to have energy. So that's an critical thing to understand as well. And so I'm going to go through a few other things here that I think are key. But hey, do me a favor. By the way, I want to say thank you everybody who's been punching that share button, clicking that love button, because there are so many people that don't know this truth. By the way, I got a great question here from Brandy about methylation. Okay, so when you're taking B vitamins today, and let me say this, I think it's a little bit of an over-exaggeration for people to think that methylated vitamins are the only thing that will help them. I think when you're doing more food-based B vitamins, or you're getting B vitamins from your food, you are going to absorb a lot of it, and when you have a healthy gut microbiome. So I think even before you should be taking methylated B vitamins, by the way, so here's the thing with methylated B vitamins. Some people genetically don't digest B vitamins as well, okay? So you need a very specific type of B vitamin, and so anyways, all that being said, probiotics help with that, okay? Getting the right type of probiotics and things like that are very important. Okay, I lost some people here. It looks like maybe other people are sticking around. So all that being said, you need these B vitamins. The next thing you need is good quality sleep, okay? You need to get good quality sleep. That's key. I use this thing called an Oura Ring, which allows you to get better sleep at night. Let me go back to methylated B vitamins first. Again, B vitamins are so important.